Most people think the world suddenly fell apart in 2020. But the truth is, that year didn't create the collapse. It revealed it. In just a few months, tens of thousands of U.S. businesses disappeared. Nearly 9,000 banks never reopened. Global GDP fell and never recovered. Whole industries died quietly. That's not a recession. That's a silent depression. And here's the dangerous part. People didn't fight it because they didn't know it was happening. They were too exhausted, sedated, and financially cornered to resist. The emotional damage money damage creates. When currency breaks, people break. Inflation doesn't just make eggs expensive. It forces your brain to live in panic mode. You worry constantly. You feel behind no matter how hard you work. You think the future is shrinking, not expanding. You stop planning. You start coping. And coping eventually turns into scrolling, overeating, shopping, substances, numbness, anxiety, depression. Money problems turn into psychological problems because the human nervous system is not designed to live in permanent uncertainty. The winemaker example, why inflation equals moral rot. If you make wine and the cost of everything suddenly doubles, you have three choices. Raise prices, customers leave, eat the loss, you go broke, water down the wine. You stay alive, but you compromise your ethics. Inflation forces the individual to choose survival versus honesty. That's why corruption spreads during currency collapse. Not because humans get worse, but because the system rewards cutting corners and punishes integrity. 2020 present. The freeze of the human will. Why are people so silent? Why do politicians steal in daylight? Why does no one march? Because the population is overstimulated screens, undernourished, processed food, dopamine depleted, social media addiction, sleep damaged, blue light, isolated, work from screen, not work from world, debt chained, loans, rent, inflation. That's not accidental. That's conditioning. A tired mind doesn't revolt. A numb mind doesn't organize. A hopeless mind doesn't resist. War as a reset button. Governments use wars for three purposes. Hide their financial crimes. It wasn't the banks, it was the enemy. Sacrifice the youth. Because 18 to 25-year-olds are the only ones strong enough to resist. Prevent inheritance and reset ownership. Dead sons equals no heirs equals assets returned to the state/banks. That's why the saying exists. There are no wars but bankers' wars. It's not poetry. It's accounting. So what now? Before someone can fight for their rights, they must first realize they have been stolen. Before someone can defend their life, they must understand who attacked it and how. The first step isn't rebellion. It isn't protest. It isn't panic. It's clarity, because an uninformed population is obedient by default. The real answer. You don't fix the world by yelling at it. You fix the world by waking up faster than it breaks you. Fix health. Fix mindset. Fix money literacy. Fix local community. When individuals regain strength, systems lose control. When citizens stop fearing collapse, power loses its leverage. When people reclaim responsibility, corruption loses its audience. Final thought. You are not apathetic. You are drained. You are not lazy. You are overloaded. You're not blind. You've been flooded with noise instead of truth. No one can resist a system they don't understand. But once they do understand, obedience ends.